Ever wonder how a really famous person like Steve Harvey could get ripped off? And not by just anyone, but by the husband of a close friend? Stay where you are. I'm talking about big cons, famous people, shocking betrayals, and even drama in the courts. A $1 million scam with a lot of people who fell for it. All of this happened because, so the story goes, the teaching business grew. Some of it was done through social media today. We're going in depth on a story that has Hollywood in a tizzy. Picture this. Steve is said to have asked Ernest to help him with his business, but instead, Ernest took a big part of Steve's money and ran. Also, Ernesto's wife, Shirley, who claims to be Steve's friend, seems to be on his side, even though she knows about his terrible crimes. Right now, it's a real jaw-dropper. Hold on tight while I dig deeper into this web of lies and betrayal. Right now, I'm having a bad day. Ernest Williams is in a situation that could be straight out of a drama show. He is on the edge of major legal consequences, and he might have to go to jail. The situation is dangerous to say the least. Word on the street is that Ernesto's wife, Shirley, may have known more than she let on about his illegal activities. It's even been said that she may have helped him lie, helping him hide his illegal activities. What did you say? If you look into how they became friends, it's clear that their relationship has been rocky from the start. There have been danger signs after warning signs. Steve Harvey, the matchmaker with the Midas touch, played a key part in bringing them together. This adds a twist to the story. There's still more to find out. Steve Harvey, one of the most famous people in TV, fell for Ernesto's fake business services. This caused big money problems. Ernesto had promised to help Steve with his business, but his actions said something completely different, making Steve feel like he had been tricked. And you're going to be happy with that, domestic happiness. Even though he lost a lot of money and felt hurt by the betrayal, Steve Harvey decided to stay quiet. His strong support from Shirley and the fact that he was torn between wanting to tell the truth and not wanting to risk his relationship with Shirley put him in a tough spot. Insiders say that Steve Harvey was shocked when Shirley stood by Ernesto, even after his major wrongdoings were found out. Steve thought that Shirley knew about Ernesto's illegal actions, so he blamed her. A source on the inside spills. Steve is very hurt by the fact that Shirley always backs Ernesto. He is sure that she was not just a witness to his crimes, but also helped him do them. This is hard for him because he has been close to Shirley for a long time. People who are close to Steve say that he thinks Shirley is partly to blame for Ernesto's wrongdoings. He was sure that she was not only aware of what he was doing, but also taking part in it. This belief has caused a rift between him and Shirley, and people in their social group can feel the tension. Also, there are rumors that Steve Harvey feels very hurt by Shirley's actions. Steve has doubts about how real their friendship is because she stuck by her husband even after his wrongdoings were made public. Ernesto decided to ask Shirley to marry him on her radio show in front of Steve Harvey, which added a touch of irony to the story. In hindsight, it seems like Steve helped bring together a family that would finally turn against him. Haha. Hey, those of you who just want to listen. A man walks right into the room. Now, in Steve Harvey's own words, as told by a close friend or colleague. I put my faith in Ernesto, but he used it against me. He said he would help me with business issues, but it was all a lie. I lost a lot of money, and it's disappointing to see that Shirley still supports him even though he did some terrible things. Ernesto's crimes and Shirley's support for him have caused a chain reaction that has hurt Steve Harvey's relationship with Shirley and put their mutual friends in an awkward situation. People who care about both Steve and Shirley are caught in the middle, torn between being loyal to Steve and staying friends with Shirley. This has made everyone in their group of friends feel like they're walking a wire because the situation is so tense. Let's turn our attention to Ernesto, whose record is as long as a shopping list. Ernest's background of crime is not a short story. Charges and felony sentences piled up. Since the 1980s, he's been in trouble with the state. His long list of accomplishments tells us a lot about what kind of person he is. People who knew Shirley well said that, even though she knew all about Ernesto's troubled past, she still thought he had changed. This helps us understand Shirley's point of view. She knew about his bad past, but she was still sure that he had changed. But that doesn't change its spots, just like a leopard. Ernest claimed that he had changed wasn't true. It was just smoke and mirrors. He was still doing the same things he always did, like playing tricks and planning scams. Well, more than a dozen people lost $1 million to scams. Fraud charges have been brought against 2 people. Ernesto and his partner in crime, Erica King, were finally caught by the police. The 2 people were caught running a scam scheme that made them a cool $1 million. The news proved their crimes and showed how bad their lies were. Basically, they set themselves up as experts in business growth, development, coaching, and other similar areas, trying to look like business experts. Ernesto and Erica made up stories about how they could get to the top of the world. The brand's goals and people who follow them on social media pretend to be smart professionals. Help them get you to believe them so they can start their scam. To ask for more and more money, promising that things and services will be delivered later, but never following through. People who fell for Ernesto and Erica's sneaky plan gave them their hard-earned money in hopes of getting a business boost. But what they got was a bitter taste of rejection because the services they were promised were nothing but empty words. If you know King or Williams, you should call the cops. Even more shocking is that none of the people who were taken for a ride at first went to the police to file charges against the scammers. This shows that the people who got scammed might have been afraid or unsure of how to approach their scammers. But Ernesto's lie-filled dance didn't stay hidden for long. A case of rental theft gave them a hint. When investigators decided to look into him, they chose to look into his finances. And, surprise, this opened a Pandora's box of lies that went far beyond the original case. Investigators soon honed in on the house where Ernesto, Erica, and Shirley all lived together. This turned out to be the center of their scams, showing a complex network of trickery and fraud. As the money trail became clearer, it proved that Ernesto and Erica were up to no good. The breadcrumbs led to the fact that couldn't be denied. The 2 were up to their necks in wrongdoing. Now comes the part that everyone has been waiting for. You remember how I said that someone on the inside thought Shirley knew more about Ernesto's shady deals than she let on? Now, hold on to your hats because the story is about to get even more exciting. Shirley removed Ernesto's name from the title of her California property in a sneaky way just before the story became public. That was a pretty smart move, wouldn't you say? Ernesto's illegal charges could cause him to lose everything. This wild ride through the fascinating world of famous rumors. If you liked this video, hit the subscribe button and the like button a lot. Don't forget to turn on alerts so you don't miss any new information. Until the next time, keep being curious, keep having fun, and keep leaving notes. Goodbye.